Nostradamus, the 16th century astrologer who is said to have somehow predicted the rise of Hitler, Napoleon, 9/11, and the atomic bombing of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. He was a man who mixed science with superstition and claimed to read the fate of kings in the movement of the stars. His cryptic verses, penned in riddles and half-truths, terrified monarchs and comforted peasants. But were they divine visions or clever poetry designed to survive the wrath of the church? From the Renaissance courts to conspiracy forums online, this is After Dark.
Well, hello there, and welcome to After Dark. I'm Anthony.
And I'm Maddy.
And today we are talking about somebody you may well have heard of, because he is said to have predicted some of the darkest events in human history, from natural disasters to regicide. But just who was Nostradamus? Why has his story endured for so long? And why do we humans need to think that we are able to predict the future? I have none of the answers to those questions, but I know who does.
Me neither.
Oh,
Goodbye
right,
at
okay.
the end.
It is Maddy Pelling who is going to tell us all about Nostradamus today.
I feel like you're introducing me like a guest.
I know.
Fun times. Can I just say, we're recording this after lunch and I'm so pregnant and so full of food that there is no room for my lungs and I can't breathe. So apologies to anyone listening to this on headphones because I'm going to be going in your ear.
Somebody is definitely taking advantage of that now.
She said,
she was like, there's no room for lungs and lunch. And I was like,
Yeah.
oh, that's good. That's a nice phrase. I like it.
Yeah. Would you like to know a little bit about Nostradamus?
Well, we're here. We
before I
might
run
as
out
well.
of breath
Yes.
entirely. Okay, so he's born in 1503. He's born Michel de Nostradam.
I see
Excellent
where the name
French
has come from there. Yeah.
pronunciation. He's born in Provence.
Now, Michel, just to say, rather than Michael.
Yeah, that's true. Good point. Piss off. And we're done. He is born to a Jewish family who have converted to Catholicism. So he's kind of already a little bit of an outsider, which is quite interesting, and someone who is interested in, I suppose, the edges and boundaries of religious belief and where that can take you. He grows up like many a Renaissance man, learning languages, mathematics, and astrology from his grandfather. Can I just say, having to learn languages, clearly, and mathematics is my worst nightmare.
But also
leave me alone.
to kind of plonk in there the astrology, that might sound weird to people who are listening or watching on YouTube, where it's like, oh, what the hell are they doing studying astrology? But this is not that strange given the context of the time.
No, this is absolutely normal. The movement of the stars, planetary alignments, all of that held enormous meaning for people in this period. There's efforts to kind of scientifically categorize and understand what's going on in terms of the heavens, but there is also different and sometimes wild interpretations taking place as well. So we need to bear that in mind. So he was formally educated as well. He studied liberal arts at the University of Avignon. He later attended the University of Montpellier as well, and he graduated with a degree in medicine, which today sounds like, oh, he studied all these things. He must have been kind of so busy and like super, super clever. But also this is the time of the Renaissance when you have to dip your wick into everything. You have to have a go at everything. And I suppose there's a lot of crossover in terms of these disciplines as well. So it's not unusual necessarily.
One of the things that I was more surprised at is kind of the next phase of his life, I think, because I hadn't expected to come across the idea that he was, before we know the Nostradamus that we have now, this kind of predictor of events, or this kind of shaman-ish type person almost.
Prophet,
yes. that he was a doctor, a faith healer.
Yeah.
So there is this, you said about medicine, obviously he goes into that.
Renaissance man, right?
Yeah.
That he does all this stuff. Yeah. So he has several careers, several strings to his bow. He is involved in the printing of almanacs. So he's an author of those. So these are kind of popular texts that would contain like a calendar, but also astronomical data. So things about like the moon, the sun, the stars, all of that, forecasts of where planets are going to move to.
Which of course is kind of linked to divination as well, right? So there's a little bit of forecasting there.
Yeah, and also he's involved in these really early printed works, and it suggests to me that he understands the power of getting this information out there and the power of print actually, and spreading ideas, spreading your own agenda. So that's something to bear in mind. But he's a healer, so he has some success treating plague victims in the 1530s.
As a legit plague doctor, or as a oh, here's some thingies, or is he going around with a stick poking?
Well, I think he's not. I don't think he serves as a plague doctor. I
Okay.
think he's like, I have the answers.
Sure.
The sun is in the east.
Yeah.
Pisces is down there.
Yeah.
You can tell I don't do any astrology. Question mark.
What's your birth sign?
Aquarius.
I don't know what that means, but I'm just
What's
asking.
yours?
I'm right on the cusp of Libra and Virgo, but I now count myself as a Virgo.
See, there'll be so many people listening to this going,
Oh, that makes
my
sense,
God,
yeah.
of course they both are. Like, that's, yeah.
Don't know
yeah.
what it means.
Not a clue.
I'm quite organised, apparently.
I know mine is the water sign. And I think
know
the
what
vibe
mine
is like
is.
creative but
Hey,
chaos.
I think I'm water too, maybe.
Oh, well, maybe
No, I
that's
don't
why.
know that. I don't know. Don't quote me on
There's
that.
going to be people shouting at their
Yeah,
phones
yeah,
right
yeah,
now.
yeah.
What are you talking
Yeah.
about? Write in and educate us about this, please.
Wait, well, we
No
have to say this.
way.
Okay, so McKenna, who's our YouTube, if you're watching this on YouTube, McKenna is responsible for all of this. She has just told us that
This is
so
wild.
you're Aquarius, I'm Virgo.
Uh-huh.
Apparently very compatible,
Intellectually inspirational to each other.
learning from each other.
Yeah.
She just said, McKenna, what else?
Mutual inspiration and thrive on learning from each other's strengths.
Thrive and learning from each other's strengths.
Wow.
Smart and logical.
I'm not sure how logical I am, or smart for that matter. But
Yeah, me neither.
yeah, I was going. Well, you're smart, but I don't know how logical.
I don't know how logical.
Yeah, but apart from that,
Wow.
yeah. So there you go.
Okay, that's truly wild, and I feel like this is perfect vibes for
Yeah, exactly
Nostradamus.
right. Yeah.
Astrology, guys, it's all real. Getting back to Nostradamus. So he's treating these plague victims, but he's expelled from the University of Montpellier because he's practicing as an apothecary, which is seen as like a kind of manual trade. He's
yes.
it's not very intellectual.
So there's them
he's-
saying, what are you doing with your medical degree if this is what you're going to be fiddling around with?
Yeah, exactly. Sort of pissing around doing that. And so again, we have him sort of doing all these bits and bobs. He's sort of a jack of all trades, master of none kind of vibe.
It's giving Crippen.
Oh, I mean, that's a little harsh, but
Well, I know, but you know what I
yeah.
mean? Like he was doing that. He was training, but he was also doing this kind of apothecary stuff and he was
That's
doing
very
inventory
true.
stuff.
Yeah, someone who sort of has a self-aggrandizing personality where they want to kind of be the best at everything, or they want to be noticed in all these different fields and things, which is kind of
Anyway,
it's
yeah, it just popped into
interesting.
my mind.
Yeah. It's also during this period that he loses his first wife and his children to the plague.
Right.
And I think it's interesting, when you think about his focus later on this idea of fate and what if there's any control that we can possibly have over what happens in our lives in the big scheme of human history. And of course, that's going to become the thing that he's remembered for, right? These prophecies. So I think that is an interesting point to carry on. He's been kicked out of the university. His family are dead. He doesn't really have any ties anywhere. And he starts to become a little bit controversial. He's worked as an apothecary. Well done, me. And he now sets off on some travels, ? These are a little bit vague. We don't really know. He's traveling all over France, all over Europe at this time. And
Isn't there a question whether or not the Inquisition are after him because of...
yeah.
It's interesting because you're talking about this person who has gone to a really recognized university, who is potentially training in an up-and-coming trade.
And was on the path to
Yes.
becoming a respectable Renaissance figure.
And yet there is this grey area around the edges of why are you meddling with healing over there? What are you doing as an apothecary? What are you doing with the plague? And we don't know for sure about the Inquisition as far as I remember, but it's a potential that he was being pursued by them. So even they're going, what are you doing in terms of your belief systems? Are you adhering to the prescribed belief systems?
And also sort of rejecting institutionalized power in this moment
Yes.
for interacting with the people.
Yeah.
Which is, again, interesting when you think about the prophecies and who are you giving power to if you can tell the future. It kind of disrupts the power balance a little bit. So yeah, the Inquisition do become involved and want to question / torture him. So he goes on the run. So this is around sort of 1538. So we've had the plague in the early 1530s and now we're in 1538. They're accusing him of heresy for specifically criticising the craftsmanship of a religious statue. So
Oh my God.
I
chill
know,
out.
right?
Yeah.
I mean, can you imagine? That foot's too big.
Yeah.
Right, off with your head.
Oh, I don't like how they did Ronaldo's face in that statue. No, you're dead.
You're dead.
You're
You
dead.
are dead. Yeah. Heresy, you're dead. So, and of course,
Hey, I know the name of a footballer, just to say. Ronaldo. Was it him? Was he the one?
that Nostradamus didn't like.
No, I don't know about that. But
Oh, there was a
isn't
bad
that-
statue of him. Yeah, there
Yeah.
was. Yeah, well
And he's a
done.
footballer, yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't say he's a very contemporary reference, but sure.
Oh, is he not? Wait, Ronaldo.
I mean, is he still playing football?
There's that young... Oh, he's probably not young now. I don't know. Anyway, maybe it's not Ronaldo.
This is
Yes, over here.
Oh, yeah, okay.
this is now a football podcast.
Yes.
Okay,
God.
so he is on the run, and during this time, he basically takes a sidestep away from the education that he's had before, and he becomes really interested in the occult, more so into astrology and herbalism as well. So alternative
Because
things,
when-
even for this period.
When you said heresy, I was like, oh, this is why. But no, it was because of a statue. But I was assuming it was because of what you're talking about
I mean,
now. about
it must have been right. I
some
think
kind of a-
I think the criticism of a religious statue is, by extension, a criticism of the church. It's just something they can nail
Yeah.
him for. They want
Yeah,
him
yeah,
for
yeah.
these things that he's getting involved
Yeah.
in. But he outruns them. He leaves Provence and he travels through Italy, Greece, Turkey, and the whole time he's meeting people, he's gathering knowledge. He is building his own profession of his own making for the first time. He's not. These are now not just sort of disparate bits that he's randomly experimenting with. He's creating and tailoring his own world around him.
he's branding himself.
Yeah, and of course, getting followers as he does so as well.
He would have been huge on social media.
Oh my god, huge. Yeah, that's so true.
Mm.
I'm trying to think of what his videos would be like.
It's like on TikTok when you see people going, oh, they do card reading, and it's like, if you're seeing this on the 14th of March, then this is for you specifically. And it's just like there's 146 likes on it, 46,000 likes on it. It's like, how specific is it really? But yeah, he'd be doing
He
stuff
would
like that.
so be doing. Okay, yeah, he absolutely would. Yeah. He'd be like, if you look out your window now and it's raining, this is for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so eventually he does settle in a place called Salon in France, and he marries again a woman called Anne Possart Gemel. Gemel? I don't know how I'm pronouncing this.
No, do you know, I'm going to, whatever it
It's
is you
fine,
said. Yeah.
And they have 6 children together, so he's busy during this period. But he's had this kind of terrible loss in one place, and now presumably the Inquisition have given up looking for him,
Just got bored.
or maybe he's just hidden really well. But he started this new life, and it's around this time. So this is about the 1750s now. This give him time to have his 6 children. He kind of recalls the power of print. Don't forget he used to print those almanacs early on in his career. And he decides to write a book called Les Prophéties, or The Prophecies. I'm really nailing the French today. You're looking at me like,
No, I'm
Jesus
no,
Christ.
I'm just laughing because I can see the fear in your
I
face before you go.
so
You're just
hard.
like, don't make
This
me
is
do it.
giving GCSE French. It's so stressful. And so basically, as he's been traveling around, he has been giving little prophecies out. And these aren't like the First World War will begin in 1914. These are like, it will rain next Tuesday. And then it does rain. And people are like, oh my God.
But you live in Ireland, so there's no
Yeah,
surprise. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So this is now an escalation of that. And he sets down his prophecies. And these are these are not, it's going to rain next Tuesday now. These are, more serious things. And he writes them down.
Okay, so just before you go, this is when these famous prophecies start to come to the fore.
Exactly. And the thing that makes me, I mean, look, I'm not buying into it and saying, oh my God, he could read the future. But
Go on, Maddy, yes.
But the thing that makes me kind of laugh about this is that he writes them all as 4-line poems, which says, I suppose, a lot about his training, his education, and his desire to insert himself into a learned space.
There's a legitimacy.
Still.
Well, it feels like he's trying to bring a legitimacy.
Exactly.
to it,
Yeah. And to kind of, people will take the prophecies seriously if they are
measured.
quatrains.
And, yes.
So he sets the 4-line poems out in sets of 100, which he calls centuries.
Oh yeah, I did.
Which I think is kind of interesting. And this isn't necessarily, this is what will happen in this century. That's not it. But this is just the way that he organises them. The first edition that he prints contains 3 centuries and 53 quatrains, so 353 4-line poems.
Okay.
Which is a lot. And also, who could be bothered to write 350
And here we are in
4-line poems?
2025 still. There's no way he could have thought of the impact actually that he has.
Do you think? Because I think he absolutely would. I think if he was here now, he'd be like, well, of course you're still talking about them.
Yeah.
Because look how great I was.
Me,
I think there's an ego, definitely. So as you can imagine, these become incredibly popular very, very quick. So we get the second edition is also published in 1555. Then we get another edition again in 1557, a fourth edition in 1568. Wow. Like, this is
big news.
And like, obviously this is the 16th century. Things are getting printed, but not on the scale they are even in the 18th century. You know, so this is a serious success. When the fourth version is published in 1568, he has been dead for 2 years at that point. So
he's gone.
Yeah, he's gone. Yeah. And at that point, the fourth edition contains 942 poems.
Oh, stop it.
Yeah.
Right. So that first, it's not like he's adapting the first, he keeps going.
Yeah, he keeps going.
Oh, I thought it was just like reprints. No, he's adding all the time.
He's reprinting the originals, but every time he's like,
there's more. Actually, I had another dream.
Can you imagine being his editor? Like,
could you imagine being his wife?
Oh my God,
I get to listen to, because there's nothing.
No, she'd be like, I have the 6
work.
Kids. Like,
yeah.
You do your little poems.
I hate when people tell you their dreams. It's the most boring thing. It's like, but that didn't happen. So it's like, what are you wasting time for? I don't have time for this shit.
Do you feel like he dreamed?
No, poems? I don't know how he had his prophecy. Well, he made them up. But like, it just, so that's kind of whatever. But just don't talk to me about your dreams.
Do you ever have? Yeah, sorry. Do you ever? We are now going to talk about dreams. Do you ever have recurring dreams?
Oh, all the time. Yeah.
Interesting. We should do an episode on dreams because I've got a lot to say.
Oh.
I'm also really interested in lucid dreaming.
What's that?
Where you can, well, sort of, it's when you can supposedly train yourself to be in charge in your dream.
Not this. Okay.
Yeah. Apparently this is a thing that, like, it's a scientific thing, question mark again. Over this,
just say scientific and then nobody can argue with you.
Everyone will believe me. Okay, so, the other thing as well to say about these poems is they're written in a mixture of French, Greek, Latin, and Occitan, which is like, again, who could be bothered? And it's
but legitimizing again, right?
Exactly. Would you like to hear some of the predictions?
I've never heard an actual Nostradamus prediction.
Oh my God. Okay, so we're going to play a little game. Okay. Cue the jingle.
Look. There you go. That's the jingle.
Perfect. Okay, so the way that this game is going to work, Anthony Delaney.
I'm really bad at games. Okay, go.
It's okay. I think you'll be right with this one.
Oh God.
I'm going to read you the 4-line poem.
Yeah.
And you're going to guess what event in history, in the whole of history, it's predicting.
No, I'm bad. I'm bad at guessing games. I'm really bad, but I want to do this.
Okay.
Yes, go.
Poem number 1.
Okay. I'm gonna talk as you're talking, so I'm working out loud.
And also don't peek on your notes.
No, I'm not.
The answers are on your notes.
Okay. I promise you I won't.
In our notes, I will say that producer Freddie's written starting with an easy one, so this is going to be embarrassing if you don't get it. You're never going to get this.
No.
I don't know. The blood of the just will commit a fault at London, burnt through lightning of 23's the 6.
What? 23's the 6?
Yeah, weird. The ancient lady will fall from her high place. Several of the same sect will be killed.
Okay. I'm not going to spend too long on each of these because I could do a whole podcast on it. But let's just break it down line by line. Give me line 1 again.
The blood of the just will commit a fault at London.
No idea. Give me line 2.
Burnt.
Okay.
Through lightning.
So when you said burn and London was in the previous line, I'm just thinking Great Fire.
Yeah.
But then you said lightning, so that has nothing to do with the Great Fire.
Well, people have read it as the prediction of the Great Fire of London in 1666. Correct. Bonus point to Anthony.
Except that is not a prediction of the Great Fire of London.
Well, exactly. And this is the thing, that so many of these predictions are so vague.
But yes, but there was no lightning. So how is that the Great Fire of London? And also it said something about blood. Like, okay, the Great Fire of London was particularly bloody. What are the last 2 lines?
The ancient lady will fall from her high place. Several of the same sect will be killed.
Ancient lady?
Yeah, what?
I mean, realistically, that could be something like falling off the roof of St. Paul's or something, I guess. You could...
Yeah, you could kind of compare it to that,
I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But this is the thing, like, they're all so loose and so non-specific that you can mould them, and people absolutely have moulded them.
That is not a prediction of the Great Fire of London. But, okay, fine.
This one, I think you might have more of a chance with.
Oh, but I got that one.
You know, to be fair,
okay, I
won't strip you of your points. You did get that one. Okay, number 2. Songs, chants, and demands will come from the enslaved, held captive by the nobility in their prisons. At a later date, brainless idiots will take these as divine utterances. Do you want some key words in here?
Yeah.
So So your keyword, well, okay, we'll have it again. Songs, chants, and demands will come from the enslaved, held captive by the nobility in their prisons. At a later date, brainless idiots will take these as divine utterances.
Okay, so I initially always liked something about the transatlantic slave trade, but it's not that. Because you said nobility specifically.
And prisons.
Prisons? So nobility, prisons, and slaves.
I'll give you a clue. This is our century.
18th century. French Revolution.
Yes, correct.
That's
See,
loose.
I think this is a good one. So you've got obviously the enslaved here referring to like the downtrodden.
Yeah,
of
but they're not
France.
enslaved.
They're not
okay,
technically enslaved. Held captive by the nobility in their prisons, thinking about the Bastille, fine. At a later date, brainless idiots will take these as divine utterances. You could kind of read that as the terror that comes later, I suppose, and the chaos and the kind of thuggery of all of that. And then maybe
you could read it as anything.
You really could. But French Revolution, 1789, my friend. Nostradamus.
Right, go on anyway. It's still not convinced.
Oh my God, Nosferatu.
Yeah.
No, Nostradamus. Oh my God. Love a bit of Nosferatu. Did you watch the Eggers film?
I did, and it
Eggers
was
film?
beautiful, very long,
gorgeous.
and not the most interesting thing in the entire world, but beautiful to
Beautifully
look at.
shot.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm a big fan.
Yeah,
listening,
visually
love
I'm
it.
a big fan, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. This one, I think this is quite good. From the depths of the west of Europe, a young child will be born of poor people. He who by his tongue will seduce a great troop, his fame will increase towards the realm of the east.
I know this because I've heard it before, being applied to Hitler.
Yes? Absolutely. Yeah. And you can see why. There is nothing specific in that. But
I mean, what is it? Tell me again.
I mean, you could say like the specificity of like a young child born to poor people, he who by his tongue will seduce a great troop, like
sure,
someone charismatic born to the lower classes who is going to rise.
There's a lot of examples of that.
Exactly. But that is what people associate it with Hitler. This last one.
Oh, there's another one. Oh my God, okay.
There's one more. We're going to be here all night. No, this last one, I don't know if you'll get this one because this is really vague.
Hey, I've done well so far.
You've done really well,
right?
But
kind of.
I think this is going to be a bit too random for you.
Okay.
Because you don't ever think about this century. So
go on.
It's one you refuse to cover on After Dark.
20th century.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay. Although obviously the rise of Hitler also 20th century, but the ancient task will be completed. From on high, evil will fall on the great man. A dead innocent will be accused of the deed. The guilty will remain in the mist.
I actually think I know what this is.
Oh my God, go on.
It's the middle is the key bit, maybe. As in like an innocent man thingy.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Depending on your conspiracy theory.
Is it JFK?
It is the assassination of JFK.
Lads, that is the best I have ever done in a quiz ever.
Done. Oh my God.
That I didn't have to study for.
I think that's a vague one, but actually when you apply it to JFK, it's quite compelling.
When the middle, I think it's absolute bullshit. But with the middle of it, I went, oh, that's that.
Lee Harvey Oswald being accused, but not really being
But
innocent.
then, as you say, that leads into conspiracy theories, which of course, predictions leading into conspiracy theories, leading into the secrets that are around us that we're being, it all kind of feeds into this monster.
And you can see where there's a link between Nostradamus and conspiracies on the internet now. And of course, conspiracies now feed so much into the right, particularly in American political culture. And you can absolutely see that thread through history.
Do you know where I first became aware of Nostradamus? And it's a really weird place. Oh, I guess it's not, though. But 9/11. That's when I first became aware of Nostradamus, because there was talk that he had predicted this catastrophe.
Yeah.
And so therefore,
I mean, there's talk that he's
headlines.
predicted every single catastrophe, right? But
maybe that's the first one I remember.
Yeah. And that it was a catastrophe unfolding in real time as well.
Yeah.
So it was sort of more absorbent, that kind of discourse.
So questionable and all that these predictions are in our time, and we are 400 years on from when these predictions are being made. Were there things that were happening in the 16th century that people were like, he's got it?
There was one particular.
Was there though?
There was, and he was correct, and everything should be believed. No, so during his strange and rambling life, this varied life that he had, varied career, he came under the patronage of Catherine de Medici, which we should so do an episode on her because she was really into the occult, and obviously she's this huge kind of powerful figure and someone who is very manipulative and good at a political plot or two.
That would be a good call, actually.
Yeah, we really should do her.
Or just the Medici. Maybe do like a mini-series on the Medicis generally. Anyway, sorry, go on.
Okay, let's sign ourselves up for that. So she brought him into the fold. And she was very interested in what he had to say. And one of the things that he had to say was a prediction about her husband, Henry II of France. And the prediction was that he would die in a jousting accident. Now, I'm not sure what the original prediction was.
I was going to say,
4 lines.
show me that quatrain.
Yeah. And he would fall off a mighty beast and be stuck with a stick. I don't know.
No, that's too specific. That'd be good. I'd be like, fair enough.
What would it be like? The tree of death on the battlefield of sport.
Yeah.
Something completely random. But how does Henry II of France die, Anthony?
I'm thinking jousting.
Correct.
Yeah.
Set you up well for that. Yeah, and so she's sold on this.
She's convinced.
She's like, wow.
But she's quite, if from what I remember correctly about Catherine, she's that way inclined anyway, right? She would be willing to believe this.
Absolutely, yeah. She's open to the power of suggestion, let's say. So he is. That's kind of one that is remembered during his lifetime as being, the thing that seals his legitimacy. But as I said previously, he dies in July 1566, so 2 years before the 4th edition of his Prophecies is published. Now, this makes me laugh. He dies from heart failure, which is brought on from complications with gout, so not well. And also potentially living quite a bougie lifestyle if he's got gout. He's
well, he's at the court, isn't he? He's at the Medici's court, so
exactly.
He's done all right.
He's got a taste of the fine life. The night before he dies the next day, he makes his final prediction. He says, "Tomorrow I will be no more."
That should never happened.
Yeah, but also, like, even if he did, what a safe bet to be like,
or like,
I'm dying.
He could be like those grannies, the way when both of my grannies are dead now, but like one of them in particular, she'd always be like, if I even live that long. And I'd be like, oh my God.
Classic granny banter, that.
It is that kind of thing. And granted, when she did die, she wasn't saying that at all. But like, for 20 years before she actually did, it was like, Jesus, Lizzie.
Yeah, and a brilliant way to like absolutely guilt trip everyone, right? Like, I might be dead soon. So he dies. Now, he's buried. He's put to rest. Everything is fine.
How could there be any more to this story? What are you going to say?
So there is a little bit of an afterlife of his body, or a mythological afterlife. So there is a story that in the French Revolution, which obviously he predicted, there are some French revolutionary soldiers who become obsessed. Have you heard this?
Yes.
They become obsessed with this idea that if they drink from his skull, they will be able to tell the future. And obviously, why wouldn't you want to tell the future during the French Revolution?
Or drink out of a skull.
That too.
The world is turned upside down. You might as well drink out of a skull.
Was it Byron who used to drink out of a skull on a regular basis? Probably. I think that's the kind of classic thing he would do. It was probably the skull of like one of his many conquered love interests he'd scattered aside. So the story goes that they dig up his body, and on his body is a little plaque that he was buried with, saying the date in the 18th century that he would be dug up, and they're like, "What? Oh my God!" Never happened.
Never happened. He said, not being there, but like, no, don't be ridiculous.
I'd love for that to be true.
So would I. And the image of somebody drinking from somebody's skull, 250-year-old skull or whatever it is compelling, and it's very narratively interesting.
And again, particularly in that moment of the revolution when everything is chaos, everything is violence, everything is bloody and gory. I can
see it, but he's just a chancer, right? And fair enough. Like, actually, more needs to be done. Actually, your book is kind of, in a way, looking at that, in that it's like the history of chancers. Like, the history of people who are going, here, we'll give this a go and see how far down the road we get.
Anthony has been given an early copy of my book.
I have. Got it yesterday.
There will be tests on this now.
There will be tests, not just reading, actual tests.
I'm going to be texting you every day, like,
how far in are you?
How's chapter 1? How's chapter 2? What did you think of the end of chapter 3?
Imagine I'm just like, Maddy.
You feel like, Maddy, it's shit.
Yeah.
It's not. Pre-order it now. Do you think that Nostradamus has a little bit of gender and class privilege in that this is a time when witchcraft accusations and witchcraft trials are booming, And the church is very interested in heresy. Yes, he is wanted by the Inquisition at some point, but he does end up in the court of Catherine de' Medici. Is this because he's an educated man? Would a woman making these predictions have got so far? Would she have survived?
That's interesting. Because, well, my first reaction to it was, especially in Central Europe, there are actually plenty of men that are being arrested and
Yeah, that's
prosecuted
very
for
true.
witchcraft. So
Yeah.
that sense, no, but that doesn't mean gender's not coming into it because when you said, would a woman be able to do this? I still don't think so.
I don't think she would end up at the court of Catherine de'
No,
Medici.
no, it would still, and she
Yeah.
probably, so yeah, and a woman of a higher class than those who are generally, though not always, not by any stretch, always convicted of witchcraft, probably is not going to play that game in the same way at this time. It wasn't the courtly thing for women to do, so there are other ways that women can gain influence and power at court. So yeah, actually, initially when you said it, I was like,
maybe not, but yeah.
Now on reflection, yeah.
I think he's an interesting figure, and I think we've got the actual life, the publications, that is interesting in and of itself. But I think his legacy is fascinating.
Yeah.
And the way that we are still talking about him, we're still wanting to mould those predictions to...
Have we had anything recently, more recent than 9/11?
Probably.
That he's said to have predicted. It'll also be
Surely.
really tragic
Did he
as well.
predict
So
Brexit?
probably.
Trump, the rise of Trump, maybe?
Guarantee you that.
Yeah. I bet if you looked through all, what was it, 900 and something?
He could apply to anything. So
Yeah.
he's
Yeah.
predicted this podcast probably.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
You heard it here.
Virgo and Aquarius shall rise from the ashes of
Tell me this, have you ever had your personal future told?
Yes. So for my 20th birthday or
So last year.
something, last 5 years ago,
I'm doing the maths right now.
yeah, I had a.
Did you see that someone's made you a Wikipedia page with your actual
Don't send them to us.
age?
Yes, I did. Thank you, whoever made our Wikipedia pages.
Yeah.
But the
Mine just says born in the 90s.
born
and I'll be sticking
sometime.
to that.
Yeah. How did you get away with this?
I don't know. It's so good.
Yes, for my 20th birthday, I had a tarot card reader at the party that just sat in the corner and read everyone's cards. And we were all very into it because we were 20 and whatever else, and we thought that it was all happening.
I would love to have a tarot reader come on and do that for us. Because we've always wanted to do an episode on tarot.
We have to do that.
We're looking through the glass at producer Freddie.
Freddie's like, what are you screaming at me for? We have to do a live tarot. And is McKenna still here, YouTube producer? Is she still here? Okay, we need to have a tarot reading on YouTube. Has to happen.
Yeah.
Everyone's putting their thumbs up and saying yes.
Yeah.
That is and we'll do some history too, just not just for us to have that.
Yeah.
That's a great idea. It's probably the best idea I've ever had. Well done.
Well, I am a genius. Yeah, I'm very interested in that. I also used to have a violin teacher when this is when I was not studying French, clearly.
Yes.
But I can play the violin. And his mum used to tell fortunes. And I remember him telling me about palm reading. And he said that the left-hand side is the fate that you're born with. And your right hand palm changes throughout your life when your left doesn't, because it's the fate you make for yourself.
Is that true though?
I mean, I don't know. Is it?
Also, the lighting is so low in here, I can't see. So I'm just
I can see some lines.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure, look at, why not?
I'll buy it.
Yeah, I won't, but that's fine. But I did also have when I was thinking of doing the PhD, I went to a tarot card reader because my friend made me go.
And said, should I do a Phd?
And I said, should I do a PhD?
And she said, yes, you'll end up on a podcast.
He said, you need to make sure that you do the PhD. You have to do the PhD. And now look at me. I don't believe in any of that kind of stuff, though. But I would have it done.
For someone who doesn't believe in it, you've been to
She
several...
took me. Amy Jean took me.
Okay.
So it was her. Yeah, I did believe in it when I was 20. To be fair.
Did you?
Yeah.
You've come a long way.
Thanks.
You're an old skeptic now.
Yeah, I'm not even a middle-aged skeptic just yet. No, not yet.
This has been fun.
Well, if this is what you call fun, but sure.
Oh wow!
No, I'm joking. It has been fun. I do think, and there was a time when I was really like, I would probably imagine that this is all very true. That is not, now is not that time. But
that's interesting that you had that moment.
Yeah, but doesn't everyone have that moment in their like late teens, early 20s?
I think there's something about tarot that really attracts the gaze of those and, you know, everyone else. It's that kind of, I don't know, an alternative way to see the world and an alternative system of belief.
That comes from being powerless.
Yeah,
experiencing
exactly.
powerlessness.
Yeah. And it offers you some control.
Order. Yeah.
So I can see the appeal, 100%.
Did you not?
I was definitely interested in tarot. I don't know if I ever believed it, but I was very interested. I do have a deck at home.
Do you? Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get it out occasionally and have a little look.
I know people who do
and then have to Google what the card means.
I know people who do their own cards every day, but just as a kind of a reflective practice rather than as a prediction thing.
Yes. So I've heard this a lot, that it's very good for just kind of being in touch with your own self and your own feelings and like, where am I at?
Yeah.
Here are some prompts and I'm going to think about what's going on in my life.
But I'm doing the thinking. Yes.
Exactly. Yeah. And I can buy into that. That's a system I can buy into. I think it's a useful tool.
Just reflection, right? Yeah.
Exactly. Anyway, save it for the tarot episode.
I feel like this has now turned into like one of those self-healing, like, you know, podcast things.
We will be
and I'm here for
all kinds of spiritual advice. We need to do some like tarot ASMR or something. It'd just be me doing the heavy breathing the whole way through. We should probably wrap up this episode.
Go on.
Now.
Do you want me to do it or do you want to do it?
Oh, you do it. I've run out of breath.
Listen, Nostradamus was a chancer and he did some very good chancing in the 16th century, but we don't need to live our lives by his predictions. And the next time something awful happens on the news, within a week you will hear other people talk about some random quatrain that he has talked about that has nothing got to do with that terrible thing, but people will say it has. And you don't need to believe them because that's what history was here to tell you. Thank you for watching along if you're watching on YouTube, or listening if you're listening on the podcast. I very much enjoyed this. Nice, fun learning little project. If you are listening to the podcast, leave us a 5-star review wherever you get your podcasts. If you're watching on YouTube, chat in the comments below and we will see all of your comments and our producers will...
I'm getting a vision. People are leaving 5-star reviews as we speak. Thank you very much. Goodbye.
I don't trust her at all.